So glad you could join me here today. Today we're gonna be doing a nice little simple painting, one that's like the usual ones. So let me run the colors across the screen that you will need to paint along with me. While you're doing that, let me tell you what I got done up here. I have a 16 by 20 inch canvas, pre-stretched, double prime, and I added a thin layer of liquid white. Other than that, it's slick, it's wet, it's ready to go. Now, let's go ahead, let's get started with today's painting. The good old 2-inch brush and phthalo blue. Now, just go crisscross strokes. And again, how I constantly say over and over and over. Due to the liquid white being on the canvas, the paint blends down gradually since it's blending out with the liquid whites. It's going to be much lighter here than it is at the top or wherever you start. If you start at the bottom's going to be the darkest. And if you start at the top's going to be the darkest. So just painting the edges a bit, just to kind of bring the viewer's eyes a bit more. Now, let's go ahead, let's add a little bit of water. Phthalo blue and sap green. Just a very small touch of the sap green. Load up enough paint in your brush. Let's come up here. Shoot, where do I want my water? Let's just go ahead. Let's get crazy in today's painting. Crazy but usual. How does that sound? So just load up your brush and just tack it straight on. I'm gonna do Bob Ross style water. Sometimes I paint water my way. Sometimes I like to paint it other ways. You don't have to paint it exactly one way. There's many ways, many techniques, different looks. Scrub on some of that paint. I just want something like so. Now, let's go ahead. Again, wasting no time. I want to go into some ivory black. Cut a roll of the ivory black, as you can see on my palette knife. Let's come up here. Let's decide where our mountain lives. Shoot. I just want a nice, good old mountain. It's not a traditional painting of mine without a mountain. Although there's not many mountains here in LA, the way I started painting landscapes was with mountains, so that's why it's something usual to expect. Now, let's go ahead. Let me grab a 1-inch brush and let me clean it off a bit. It has a little bit of green. Beat it maybe a bit. Now, what the heck, even a little bit of black in there. Just pull that paint. Just pull and blend. Just like so. So just very lightly. Let's pull this one out even further. And you can change the way anything looks. There's no right way nor wrong way. Look, I'm gonna go for some Ivory black, some white. Pick up a roll. Let's come up here. Very gentle. Gentle, gentle. Shoot. Just like so. Just pull it lightly. Now, I'm going to go into some ivory black, maybe a little bit of white. Just a little bit. And pull the other direction. See, at first, this mountain was going to be one. But I decided I want to separate the mountains and have one stand out in front of the other. Okay. And then for the other mountain, just almost pure titanium white. Let's come up here. Oh shoot. I almost forgot. With that same brush that we used for the sky, just tap the base of our mountain to create the look of mist. That mist will help us out. Now, let me redo this. Let me clean my knife. I have my knife dirty. There we go. Cut a roll. Let's come up here and just highlight it. That white should stand out over that gray. And at the end, everything should look like one's in front of the other. Okay. No pressure. Now, to that gray, I'm going to add a little touch of phthalo blue. You mix it to your liking. This is what I have so far. Cut a roll. Let's come up here. Boom. Just like so. And just blend it out to create the look of mist again. Just the base. And follow those angles that you create in the mountain. And then lightly mist it up. Now, let's go ahead. Let's go into ivory black. Let's come up here. Maybe there's some grass that is growing on top of these at least this mountain. And if you don't want that look, just don't do it. Some cadmium yellow. Load up your brush. And just like so. Okay. Just a little bit more here. I want that to stand out a bit more, but you can see there's already layers upon layers. Not too many layers, but we have some layers already. Let's put this in front. And let's decide maybe right around here. And just go across. You just want to block in base color. Now, let's come up here and just highlight it. Now, I do realize right now that this looks like a Bob Ross painting. It probably looks similar to you, but it's not gonna look like this. I have different ideas, different perspectives I want to achieve. I had a different idea, and this is what came out. So don't come at me with that's a Bob Ross painting, because I'm gonna change it. Okay, now pull some reflections. Gotta have some reflections reflecting into the water, just like so. Go across very lightly. Now let's add in some dirt. Cut a row of Van Dyke brown, and just here and there. Okay, just a little bit more over here. Now, dark sienna and white. Just mix it up on your palette, and very lightly. Very lightly. Is my microphone on? Yes, it is. Now, let's go ahead. Let's add on some water lines. Let me clean off my knife a bit. Some titanium white paint, and just tap on a few little water lines. Okay, just scrub them in. If you feel like they're too thick or they're too bold, and if you like them the way they are, just leave them the way they are. Now, let's go ahead. Wrong brush. Let's load in some ivory black. Let's come here and block in more land. Okay, just like so. Oops. Now, let's go ahead. Let's go straight into ivory black with the 1-inch brush. Load it through one direction, then let's pop in what's going to be a nice little bushy area. And I'm gonna push a little bit of grass. Okay. And I'm gonna do a pathway. Okay. Now, let's go ahead. Dark sienna and white. Graze it lightly. You can reflect some of that. Up to you. Okay, I'm gonna add some white to that. Just to sort of lighten that up a bit. Okay, now let's go into the bushes. Load your brush through one direction. Let me add some liquid white just to thin it out a bit. 15 minutes. Load up your brush and lightly. Think about layers when doing this. Sometimes I mess up and I forget about that. And I have to constantly remind myself. Say it out loud. Okay? There's nothing wrong with you saying out loud, think about layers. Now, loading that brush, I'm going to, hold on, scratch in a few little sticks, twigs. Now, I'm going to grab some dark sienna and use that as a separator. Okay? Now, let's go in here. And let's just make it look like there's some grassy areas. And just reflect that. Zoom. You can do whatever you want. Now, I'm going to make up some space here. And I actually want Van Dyke brown and a little bit of white just to sort of dull this brown. Oh yeah, that looks much better. So if you're doing this, that shows you not all the time dark sienna and white is the best alternative. You just gotta experiment yourself and see what you like. Okay? That's a little pathway going on to who knows where. Let's add in a few little water lines here and there. Okay? Now, let's go ahead, Van Dyke brown, and just graze it a bit. Some titanium white and dark sienna. Just make some of these lines sort of disappear. I like to think about it that way. Okay, now I'm gonna use a fan brush. I'm gonna go into ivory black and I'm gonna add a little stone in there. We need a little stone. 19 minutes. Okay, now let's go into cadmium yellow. Load it onto my 2-inch brush. I have this crazy grass, but that'll get some intrigue of people. Okay, just like so. And what the heck? We got a couple minutes to spare. One there, and one there. Let's pop in what seems to be evergreen trees. Just pop them in. They live in your fan brush. You just gotta push them out, evict them. They can't live in your brush forever, at least. You gotta put them to canvas. Just like so. Let's go over here. Okay, just lightly. I wish I could have gotten my studio and my lighting and my audio before I started recording videos, because there's so many videos that you guys will never see and I almost forget because the lighting was bad, the audio was bad. Like, I'm talking about nighttime lighting with no ring light, no nothing. And I just had to delete those videos. And there's a couple of paintings in those that were a favorite, and you guys sadly will never get to experience that. And it's not that I don't want you guys. At first it was I didn't want you guys, I'll admit it. But now it's because I permanently deleted them, and there's no way I can upload those videos. So those videos are lost. And if only I had a studio since the beginning, no videos would have been lost. Okay, let's just block in there. Let's put in a tree trunk just right there. Shoot, what else do we want to put? Let's go ahead. Let's put in little what seems to be bridge. Okay, I'm just using ivory black. Okay, let me reflect that. Okay, highlight, and we're done for the day. Let me just bring some down. Okay, if you want, you can put a little bar, and then some water lines. Lightly, I forgot to pull. Okay, and I think with that, we have a completed painting. I told you it wasn't a Bob Ross painting. It looked like it on the way of painting, but it wasn't. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching me today. And I'd like to thank each and one of you for taking a little bit of time out your day. And I hope you guys follow along with this painting and try this painting. Until then, I'd like to wish each and every one of you the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care, my friends.